What's going on, people? It's Mr. back again with the last show of the season. It still hasn't come true. Is it true, people? Nottingham Forest are back in the Premier League after 23 years. It hasn't sunk in yet. I've got the panel in, I've got the legend on, and to end this, before I do start, I want to say thank everyone for that has took part of my channel from the start of the season to from now. If it wasn't for you lot, this won't happen. So everyone put in the comments to say, I want to say thank you very much for everyone that has took part. But we've got to end this last stream on a bang. We've got a legend himself, Mr. Casey. How you doing, Kev?
Mr. Door, I'm very, very good. I'm looking forward to being on this last show because I've got some questions for you all later on to make sure you go into the break knowing that you're Premier League.
It isn't some kid. It's not some kid.
It will after I've asked you these questions.
Next one, we've got the Steve, the legend Oldham. How you doing, Steve?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
My voice, can't you tell? I'm still.
It's been one hell of a week.
It's been a crazy week. And last but not least,
Cloud9.
Cloud9. You're always Cloud9. You're always Cloud9, Steve.
No, but we achieved it, didn't we, on Sunday? We achieved the dream. We talked about it and we did it. And
we did it.
Loved it.
Last but not least, you know what? We always have them separate, but this time we got them together. Because when Matt's alone, he's annoying. So I thought I'd get Michaela next to him, and got them both on. Matt, what's the face for, Matt? We're in the blue Premier League. Matt, we're in the Premier League. Matt, we're in the Premier League, Matt. Come on.
There's the bubbles. Look, the bubbles.
Michaela, Matt, how you feeling? Matt, how you feeling?
Surreal, isn't it? It's just amazing that we did it in the end. We can now take a breath and say it's done, and we can, talk about it. What everything we hoped for has come true. So fantastic.
What about you, Michaela?
Oh, well, I saw you right after, didn't I?
Yeah.
And we took some selfies, crying like fools. But it was pure joy. I've just never experienced anything like that. Like, Kev's team. That was like my last. That was like the last brilliant bit of Forest, those last, really good days. So to celebrate that and to have our son there in between us, who's 22, was brilliant. I don't think
He really couldn't believe it.
He was sobbing.
Right, I'll tell you a story, right? Because look, when I saw Michaela, I shouted, Michaela! So she's run towards me. We were able to hold it to her. Then I saw Matt, I saw Byron, both like in tears, like every Forest fan was. But it was just emotional, just like seeing everyone. And
it was really emotional, and like seeing you, because I feel like we've been through it this year together. So from those days, from 4 years ago when I shouted you from a bus like a fool, like I feel like it was just such a release of emotion. And I was on the radio the next morning. I couldn't stop crying. It was so embarrassing. Like I literally was like, she was like, how was it? It was just, it's so brilliant. I'm just so happy. So happy for that team. I'm so happy for the fans. I'm so happy for the city of Nottingham. Like we deserved it. And I think it's going to be so good for this city. Like the way everyone's come out, 40,000 people, Kevin. It was madness, like pure madness. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Before we I said Kevin's got loads of questions to ask, but Michaela, there's a quick question for you, Michaela. And this is from thank you for the £1.79 and an update on cupboard, Michaela.
Well, I'm just hoping you don't need that blinking cupboard. I really hope he puts his hand in his pocket and gets Spence. I really hope, and I'd love to sign Davis too. Those two, and I'm hoping we get Jimmy on a loan for another year. Manu, come on, do us a favour. I think Spence is happy, isn't he? I think he's achieving so much with us. I don't think he's going to achieve this at a bigger club. Like Kevin will know. I don't, he's the football expert. So, and his family love it. I think he's a god here, and he's young, and he's emotional. He's passionate. So I'm hoping we don't need the cupboard. I'm hoping that it's, you know, I'm hoping. Look, I always want players. I always think players. I want them to do their very best and achieve everything in life. That you know, and I'm never going to stop someone going and doing something better. But I'd like to think that he could stay with us. Him in particular.
But before I get to everyone comments and look to the comments, this from it's always great to see Casey back. Him and Pierre were my brothers actual before starting following the club. So it's great to hear the thoughts on the current state on the club. We'll talk to Kev about the current state of the club, but it's it's positive, and
all positive.
It's all positive. It's all positive, and I want you know what? Let me ask you, Matt. Well, ask Matt first, and if no one saw my video before the playoff final, I remember Matt wasn't a happy guy. He was angry. Remember Matt? I think it was Derby away, weren't you, Matt? About the Jack Cobber situation.
Oh well, hang on. What are you talking about right at the beginning of the season?
No,
right
at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Matt, like, let's talk about that. Like from that time, from now. No, let's talk about that time. Like, tell everyone how angry was you, because he was like, let's not beat the bush. He wasn't a Hooton fan. He wasn't a Hooton fan. So, but tell everyone, like, how was you feeling?
Well, Forest were being absolutely destroyed from the inside out at that time. The players didn't want to play football anymore. They were talking about retiring. They've been messed about. They've been tortured, and I thought it spoke volumes what Joe said after the final whistle about treating a dog properly and how a dog will perform if you treat him properly. That was it. That was the story of the season. They were mistreated at the beginning of the year, and you can't play in that scenario. Steve Cooper came in, changed the whole thing, and the results are self-evident. People he was telling to pack their bags multiple times have been arguably players of the season, like Colback. You know, it's a lesson, and at Forest we should know that's the way it is, because that's what Clough was all about. And he's been unbelievable. He's done a fantastic job. You couldn't have done a better job. Mm-hmm. And you know, the Chris Hughton thing just makes the story, really, because it was so bad and then it was so good. You know, compare and contrast. It's a perfect story. You couldn't write a better book.
100%. Kev, do you want to start the questions? Kev? Go on, Kev.
Yeah, I do, and I'm gonna ask Michaela first, and then I'm gonna ask Steve, the legend, and then I'm gonna ask you, Matt, and then I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Dore. So first off, what is your level of excitement, 1 to 10, on what's about to come? Because you've done it now.
Yeah.
Michaela, what's your level of excitement?
It's a 10, Kev.
Yeah.
It's a 10. Come on. I honestly think if we keep the nucleus of this team and we add in some bits, we definitely need some bits, here and there. I think we can. I think we're not going to win the league, are we? It's gonna be it's going to take some time. But I don't think we're going to struggle that badly. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to finish mid-table. I'm going to be really positive. I really believe that Cooper's got he really knows what he's doing. And I just hope they back him and let him do his job, let him handle the football. And then, get a left back, get a nice holding midfield player, maybe get an extra striker, then we're starting to look good, I think. Okay. I'm excited. 10.
What about you, Steve?
Well, I'm going to add the 1 and 10 together. I'm going to say 11.
11 out of 10.
But I've got to agree with Michaela. I said it to Ben. I've said it to everyone. Before we won on Sunday, if Forest got up, we ain't going down. Okay, we're not going to go down. We're going to, the owner's got what he wants. He wants a Premier League club, and we are staying in the Premier League. And I am very, very confident we will do it. And I can't wait next year. I really can't wait. You look at those fixtures, and you haven't seen the fixtures, but you look at the teams, and you think, wow. That's what,
Steve. I'm getting to all that. Don't worry, I'm getting to all that.
I'll eat your dessert, okay? I'll shut up, Kev.
You eat your dessert, Matt. What about yourself? What's your level of excitement, Matt? Because I know you like to be level and chilled out. But what's your level of excitement?
Well, it's going to be interesting. It's a completely different league we're going into than the one we left all those years ago. So a lot of it's going to be about money. Personally, I would back the players we've got. I just want to see a continuation of what we've seen. So I don't want to see any craziness. I don't want to see the Greeks coming in and spending silly money on crazy people to try and sort of buy survival or whatever. I think we can do it the sensible way. So, I'm not expecting a Hollywood sort of season. I'm expecting a progression from what we've seen this season, a continuation, and in 2 or 3 years to be like a Leicester or a Villa or a Wolves. And that's realistic. And then, so in a way, not exciting, boring, but proper. Doing it in the right way.
Right? Build the
Yeah.
foundation. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. I think we've got to be really pleased that we've kind of been miraculous this season. We've overachieved in a way. We haven't overachieved because we could have done it easily if we'd had Cooper the whole year. But it was an amazing story. You bank that and we just carry on and we're patient. We keep Cooper, we give him a long-term contract. We keep Brendan, we give him a long-term contract. And we build slowly. We buy young players, cheap, relatively cheap, not fancy dams, and we keep the nucleus of the team together. So it's not all crazy excitement. It's continuation and building, and then we get our third star in about 3 years' time.
So
That's
what's your
exciting.
number? So what's your number? 1 to 10.
I'd give me an 8. I'll give me an 8 because you've got to be excited about getting promoted. But in all honesty, I think
I'll
it's not
take
so much-
8. I'll tell you what, but I'll take 8.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good
good.
for him, Kev.
No. But it's more about, to me, it's more about the city and the whole structure and the academy and the whole thing goes up a
Everything.
level.
Big picture.
Forest is a different beast now. So
Nottingham is.
yeah,
Yes.
the whole city. That's what I mean. It's about the whole city, and we've all got to step up, haven't we? We've all got to up our game.
Yeah. Mr. Dole, what about you? What's your level of excitement?
This to me.
1 to 100 up with you. 1 to 100.
No, let's keep it real. I'll say 9. I'll say 9 because, like I said, at the start of the season, like I said, everyone knows, it wasn't great. It was shocking. The worst record is the worst record in 109 years, and to see from that to talking about we're in the Premier League, and Kevin, I keep talking, I keep repeating this. We had this conversation in August, saying we go. I was thinking about League One. That's about. I was thinking about League One, and to say that the way my emotions is, it's been for the last 3 days, telling Forest fans, telling fans around Nottingham, we're in the Premier League, and the reason I say 9 because, like I said, we're up, but like echoing what Matt said, I want it to be boring because I'm going to all of these. Like everyone says to me, "Oh Ben, what team are you looking to go to next season?" I'm like all of them.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I've heard it all now. You want the Premier League to be boring.
No.
I could accept that. I could accept that from Matt, but not from you, Dor.
No, not boring, not boring. Because
you
we
know
can't.
the top 6 now, don't you?
We all know the top 6. But I'm just saying, like, I can't, like, Kevin. I'm always a positive guy. I'm a positive guy.
So you mentioned boring.
But like I said, when I say, like, last season, I said that everyone knows. I said we'll finish 14th. And we didn't. We finished.
That's where we should have finished, isn't it?
We should have finished. No, we
That's
should
the
have
highest we could have finished.
We should have finished bottom 3, Matt. But the question, I think I'll stick with 9. I'll stick with 9.
Just on what you were saying there, and I'll put this out to everybody.
Everyone comments.
Don't forget, you had the opportunity going down to Bournemouth to really go up automatic as well.
We didn't want that. That would have been a boring
wanted
story.
Wembley. You wanted
Wembley.
Wembley.
But look,
I think Cooper said they need a day out of Wembley.
no.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, go for the draw.
The point is we did it properly, didn't we? We played some brilliant football. We beat some big teams. We showed incredible amount of character. They left absolutely nothing. We went through some difficult times and we came out on top. We were stress tested to the limit, that team, because we had a handicap. And in the end, we made it, and it was an incredible achievement. And you know, there can be no doubts about that. And next season, you just want to see them build on that and show the same qualities, and then they'll be fine.
Matt, you know, I said to Mr. Dore, when you were going down to play Fulham, do you remember what I said, Mr. Dore? I said, that is the game. You win that game, this team will know that they can go up.
Yeah.
They were brilliant for them, weren't they? They're phenomenal.
Exactly. And that's a team.
Fans, so, yeah.
And that's a team, remember, who struggle in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that, haven't they, Fulham? They've been up and down and up and down. So let me get to this next question for you all. And I'd like you all to get involved. And the people in chat as well.
People in the chat as well. Come on.
What's your top 5 games you're looking forward to for Forest next season?
I've answered the question, Kev. You can't give it me. I've answered the question.
No, I ask everybody. Everybody get involved.
Everyone in comments. Who's your top 5?
Yeah.
Top 5. You know what?
And where? So you might say Man United at home at the City Ground. You might say Liverpool at Anfield. You know, is it home or away? Where? I want to know where.
Go on, Michaela. You go first.
I've never been to Villa, so I'd love to go to Aston Villa. I think that's going to be a bit of a derby, and like Matty Cash and all that. That's one of the. I think that's a good game for us, and I think it'll be an exciting game. Obviously, I'd like to go to Leicester and absolutely destroy them because they think we've got some kind of rivalry. So I'm not scared of them. I'd like to go to Arsenal because my brother's an Arsenal fan. And I've always enjoyed going to Arsenal. I haven't been to the new place yet, so that would be great. And I'd like to Man City. I'd like to go to. I've never been there. And obviously, I've got to give a shout out to Fulham because that's one of my favourite away grounds. And I think they're a great club. I think it'll be a good game. But everyone, like, I'd love to go to Everton. I'd love to go. Really, you just want to go everywhere, don't
everywhere.
you?
Everywhere.
It's all changed so much. So,
no, but the question is your top 5.
Top 5.
You see? Top
that's
5.
my I think for me, somewhere like Villa is probably my top because I've never been and I'd like to go. And I know it's a great atmosphere, and I think there'll be some good banter between the fans. Not fussed about Chelsea at all.
Well, you've mentioned Villa, Leicester.
Liverpool.
Well, you didn't mention that, you see, and now you've mentioned about 10. You've mentioned Arsenal.
Fulham.
So you've got Villa, Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal. One more.
Did I say Everton?
You did say Everton before, so I'll put Everton in.
So that's my 5.
So that's your top 5.
Yeah.
Villa, Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal, Everton.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
Well, all of them at home because you want them all to visit, but that doesn't really count. Obviously, away at Liverpool, away at Manchester United, we went there with the under-18s, and it was felt like where we should be. We outsung them.
Terrible.
To hear Muller Kintyre at Old Trafford was great. So that has to happen again. But really, I'd list all the teams that we have to beat. So it'll be like the Brentfords of this world. Obviously, Everton will be struggling as well. So those kind of teams.
Oi.
Oh,
What's your mouth?
Those are the guys we've got to get the results. You know, Leicester. You know, those kind of teams. The Villas, the Wolveses, and the Brighton, Southampton. Those kind of teams. Crystal Palace.
You're mentioning too many
No.
I need 5.
Well,
I've got Liverpool. Man United, Everton.
For me, the big ones are going to be Palace, Fulham, Brentford, away. Forget all the glamour ones because that's where the business has to happen. Southampton, Brentford, Fulham.
No, but they're not your top. You see, they're not your top games.
No, but they are for me. Those are the ones we have to win.
No, but they're not your top games. They're priority games. They're not your top games.
They're my business games.
Palace, Brentford, and all that. Okay. What about you, Steve?
Give me all the business end.
Me, I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I think you just got to go for the best. Mine is Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Tottenham, Arsenal, all away. We're coming for you.
No, I like that, Steve. Is that why you're the legend, Steve?
That's why you wear it on your heart and you say, we are coming for you. We're not scared of anyone.
To be
fluffy
fair,
mentality.
I would
You
love
win
to
your
destroy Newcastle because their fans were horrible a couple of years back. So I'd like to really
I
stick up.
just chose me 5, and that when full-time whistle went and I was walking back, I just went, they're where I want to go, and that's what I want to see our team go for, you know. And you know, I'm not bothered about Southampton, Brighton, or anything like that because we'll beat them, you know. But I want to go after the big ones, you know what I mean? And
The big fish, the whales, that's who you want.
let's go for it.
Reel them in, Steve. Reel them in.
Come on, we're coming for you.
What about you, Mr. Door? Your
Right.
top 5.
I've like I said, I've never been. I'm going to say Everton. I know you play for Everton, Kev. So definitely Kev Everton. Next one, I've always wanted them since I was a kid. Liverpool away as well. I've always wanted them. Who else I want? I don't want to go Chelsea. I don't want to go Arsenal because they got boring fans, Kev.
Of course.
Who else? So Everton, Liverpool,
Man
Spurs.
City. Spurs, yeah.
Spurs, definitely want to go Spurs. I went to Spurs before when we lost to you in the League Cup. Great stadium. Great
Man
stadium.
City?
We'll beat them. I don't.
No, I'm talking about top game. Is it a top game for you? You know,
Yeah, of course it is.
in your eyes, the champions.
Yeah,
The champions, you know,
when you
come on.
see Haaland against Worrell, yeah, I think definitely Man City. And last one, I want to go Brentford. Brentford,
Right.
that's another that's a
New
decent-
stadium.
New stadium. So yeah, that's my top 5. But my top 1 is Liverpool away on Everton.
Yeah,
Because
I will like
Everton.
that.
Yeah, definitely. Everton was my because they're moving stadiums, aren't they? So I want to go Everton. But yeah, people in the comments, where do you think?
Yeah.
Where
Where
what's
do
the
you
comment?
think, people in the comments? I wanna see some. Do you know who doesn't really get a mention in all this?
Who?
Who?
Chelsea.
No,
No,
Kev,
make them
Kev,
100
no.
times, Kev.
Yeah.
No, do you know what I mean? You don't. Chelsea don't get a mention in none of these, really.
Kevin, the reason why people in the comments will know, and everyone will know, we went there 3 times. The
Yeah,
atmosphere
boring.
is boring. Even the steward was singing the Forest songs.
Yeah.
This is how boring the Chelsea fans was. All they do was sing is Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea.
Yeah.
And Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard wasn't there.
West Ham would be a good
Yeah,
one.
West Ham.
Oh, I forgot about West Ham.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you could put that on another list.
To be honest, Kev.
So hold on,
they're
We
all
hold on.
don't know the
they're
team.
So
all
hold
gonna
on.
be good, aren't they?
Michaela. What comes next is your top 5 grounds to visit.
Oh,
So
God.
there you go. So your top 5 grounds. You want West Ham in there?
Definitely. Come, Michaela,
Yes.
you
I've been to Spurs to see the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's gorgeous, but it's a bit soulless, isn't it? It's so huge, but it is a beautiful stadium. So it would be nice to go and see the boys play there. I'd love to go to Anfield. I've never, love to go. It's like a classic, isn't it? I'd
Yeah.
like to go to the Man City's ground because that's probably stunning, and it would be. I really like Manchester as a city as well. And then where else? Trying to think.
Mark Avery says Man United, Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford.
To be honest with you, every ground's going to be exciting, isn't it?
It is. I mean,
Even
this is the
Brighton.
problem.
Yeah, but I want your top 5 because you know what? I'm writing this down, remember?
I know you are. I don't like the way you're
writing
taking
it down
notes.
because I'm taking notes because you know what? It's always nice when next season, when the games kick off and they come around, we could reference them, can't we?
Yeah.
This is all important stuff.
To be honest, it's got to be all the big boys, hasn't it? You want to go there. You want to visit. You want to be like, we've
Spend
gone.
the time,
we've
yeah. Spend the
represented, and I
time
think
and enjoy.
Yeah, you know our away fans, Kev. They're like the best. They're
Excellent,
probably the best in
excellent.
business. So to go to Old Trafford and like out-sing them, which we did with the under-18s, which was ridiculous, would be phenomenal. I'd love that. So the 2 Manchesters, the 2, Liverpool, Everton, and I'd probably like a West Ham for me because I've haven't been there for a long, long, long time.
Everton. Right.
What about you, Steve?
Obviously, the obvious one is Anfield. I want to go back there, simply because my age, I was brought up with the Liverpool rivalry, and stuff like that. So I want to go there. Everton, not because of Kev or anything like that. It is a real good atmosphere there. I loved Everton. Next one, Villa Park, because I've got a bit of connection where I'm based with Villa Park. I've got some good Aston Villa mates, and I've always wanted to go and watch Forest and Villa play in the Premier League. West Ham, I think that one is West Ham. And then I just think for sentimental, I want to go to the new Tottenham Stadium because I hear so many people that say how wonderful it is.
It is.
They're my five. I think a couple of them are nostalgia. Forest and Everton go back 79, 80, 81 and all that, the rivalry. Villa, because it's just 45 minutes up the road. And
Leeds.
Even Leeds.
Leeds don't get a mention either.
See what I mean?
I know.
Kevin, this is the problem. We're not used to saying we're going to these.
To be honest with you, we can't even remember who's in this bloody league. There's too many good. It's like everyone's good.
Exactly, but that's why the level of excitement
It's crazy.
That's why I get the level of excitement to start with, and then once we start talking about the teams, you start remembering Villa are there, Leeds are there, and you're not even really talking about them as your top grounds. What about you, Matt? What's your top grounds? Your top grounds.
Anfield's the classic, obviously. Yeah. Old Trafford equally. I would have said Leeds. So I think that's always a good game. Fulham for personal reasons, because I've got a lot of friends who are Fulham fans, and Arsenal to get a result, really get some points in the bag.
I love it. I love the confidence. Don't forget, this is recorded.
6 points, Matt. 6 points, Arsenal.
Keep bringing it on, guys. Come on. What about you, Mr. Dore? Your top 5 grounds you want to visit?
Definitely Liverpool. 100% Liverpool. I want to go there. I want to go to, like I said, Brentford again. I want to go to that one. Man City. I definitely want to go there. I've already been Old Trafford, so to watch one of the 18s. So
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
You want to give them? You want to go up there and sort them out?
I want to sort them out. I've got loads of Newcastle fans as well. When Forest got promoted, I've had the DMs. Forest fans, we're looking forward to see you. Blah blah. Yeah. That's the one as well. Leeds. I like Leeds. I think when we played them, we drawn 1-1 with them 3 years ago. That's a great stadium, a great atmosphere as well.
Yeah.
And
they're good fans, aren't they?
You've got that's enough. That's your 5.
That's my 5.
If you're putting Leeds in, that's your 5. Obviously, you're going to go to Old Trafford. You've been there. There's so much. There's so many more teams who, Midlands derbies. That's the next thing.
Yeah.
Midlands derbies. You've got derbies coming up.
Kevin, right, let's stop there.
Kev's done a dissertation on this.
To any Leicester fan out there, right? Please don't brag about it. I saw you in my comments. Was it 2 or 3 days, or was it 4 days ago? DoreOnTour, we're coming for you. No, I'm not bothered about you, Leicester City. I'm not bothered about Aston Villa than anything else. I'm not bothered about
Wolves.
Wolves as well. Like,
that's another tough game.
I'm more bothered about Wolves than Leicester. I don't care about Leicester City. Yes, they're East Midlands rivals. I get it. I understand it. But we beat you 4-1 in the FA Cup.
They're not very good, are they?
They're not very good. So it is what it is. But it is what it is.
They desperately want a rivalry, don't they? But we're not going to give it.
Campbell had a mare that time. If he was good, it'd be 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0. People like there's 203 people in. Please do hit the like button. Please hit the like button as well. And I think I'm 130 subscribers away from 8K. So if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe.
Here's one for you then. Will you miss the Derby rivalry against Derby?
Let Matt answer this. I remember what Matt said. He was moaned about it the other day. I remember.
Matt, are you going to miss it?
Well, yeah.
Matt, you liar!
It's easy points. Like I said, I'm focusing on winning games.
Matt's a businessman.
No. But Derby's one of those games. Sure they got relegated, great. But if they hadn't done, it would have been better if we hadn't got promoted. But we're too good, and they're not good enough. So that's life, isn't it? You can't help
that's
it.
Not the question. Do you miss? But will you miss
Yeah,
the
cool.
derby?
Yeah, definitely miss it because
Right,
you like to
yeah.
beat them every year, don't you? You know, it'll be what? How many years is it now? It'll be
years.
like decades.
4
It'll
years.
be like a 23-year thing, won't it? You know, we'll have to beat that.
I'll miss
Okay.
it, but I don't think it's been as spicy the last few years because it's been so easy. So
Yeah.
I will miss it, but I'm not that bothered. We've gone to bigger and better things now.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, isn't it? That's the whole
It's
point
up to
of
them,
Forest
isn't it?
being in the Premier League, you know, and them going down. All of a
Yeah.
sudden now it's like phew,
Sliding
the gap-
doors.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
I don't
Yeah,
think
the
we're ever
gap's
going to
huge.
meet in the middle. So let's just forget about them now. We've had that fun. Off you go. Go and have a new rivalry with whoever it is.
Yeah, it's up to them.
The
to sort it out.
Burton. They can rival Burton next season.
Oh,
So
Burton, exactly.
Oh no, don't do that to them. Steve,
you know what?
Steve,
Yes, mate.
will you miss the derby games this season?
Well, we'll play them in a pre-season friendly, won't we? So that'll be all right. won't it?
Well, the under-23s
Friendly
might give them a
team
game.
against a League One team, you know, so that'll be all right. I ain't got a problem with that. Will I miss it? Yeah, of course I'll miss it, but we'd have missed it anyway because obviously we're going up, and if they'd have stayed in, so we wondered about it anyway. So move on. We'll have to, you know, go for Anfield now, won't we? Liverpool. That'll be our big game. Let's take them boys
Well,
on.
let's face it, they'll miss it more than we miss it. Put it that way.
Well, they need to because they need the money. We got 170 million in the bank on Sunday, so you know they ain't even got £1.70 in their bank.
Steve, you know what? I think the way winning it at Wembley is the best way to win it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because one, you get a trophy, and two, you know the club are like 250 million up.
Yeah,
Even if it goes wrong in the one season,
Yeah, no, that's
you
it.
have got a foundation to
We
build
have
on.
to get on the gravy train.
Yeah.
our club
been filling
changed
out the
Sunday night
station.
at 7:00. Our club changed for the better Sunday night at 7:00.
Yeah.
Financially, anyone that in the photos of Dane Murphy in the whatever they call it, Royal Box or anything at the end says a lot, really. You know, you just
Kevin, before you ask me, Kevin, we've got Lisa Howard here. She's a Derby fan. She's always on here. Lisa, evening. Lisa, this is the only Derby fan I
Hi,
like.
Lisa. I think she's been on before when we've been on. Yeah.
Yeah, she's had an operation, Lisa. So I hope you get well, Lisa.
Yeah, get well soon, Lisa.
So yeah, I love Lisa. Lisa, I'm gonna miss you, Lisa. I miss you, Lisa.
Sador, will you miss the derby, or will you just miss Lisa?
I'll miss Lisa. I'm not gonna miss Derby. No, you know, let's be real. We the first thing we look at is Derby. If Forest fans gonna say, "Oh no, we're not gonna miss Derby," that's the first thing we look at.
Yeah.
But now they've gone away for another 10 years or whatever it is. The first thing, you know what? The first thing I'm gonna look at is Liverpool because of their history and whatever it is. But yeah, I'm gonna miss. No, yes, Derby. Lisa, I miss you more. I miss you, Lisa. I miss the Hawks.
I'll miss Lisa more too with her red hair. I'll miss that. I'll miss that.
So I'll miss Lisa, but I miss Derby. Yeah, of course not. That's the first thing we look at. But yeah.
So everybody, listen. I'm nearly at the end of my questions, right?
Thank
Thank
God.
God.
For you lot, right? It's taken a little bit of time, but it's good.
Phone a friend.
The expectations. What's the expectation? You know, obviously you've won the game. You've got there now. You've had a little bit of celebration. You've had a little bit of time to reflect. What's the general expectation of the Forest faithful?
Go on, Steve. Let's Steve answer this first. Let's go on, Steve.
Well, four from bottom above is got to be the priority.
Yeah.
And let's not be realistic. I'm going to say what I said. I don't think we are going to go down. I think the owner wants a Premier League club. He's not going to invest all that money over. How many years is it? Is it 3-4 years? Is he
He's
been
been
there?
here 4 years now. 4 years. Yeah,
4 years.
2018. 2018.
I agree with what Matt says. I don't think he's going to go, you know, like wild like Fulham did, spend all that money. I think he will concentrate what Michaela says. I think he'll go for certain players. I think he'll try and get Spence over the line, try and get Davis over the line and stuff like that. And I think he'll just concentrate. He'll just want to stay in the league and then rebuild. He'll want to do an Aston Villa. Remember Aston Villa? Was it? Is it 3 years ago? Aston Villa.
3 years. Yeah, 3 years ago they were
3 years ago.
in Championship.
Stayed up, and then they've built steadily. And now you'd have to say Aston Villa are an established Premier League team.
Mhm.
All right, that is the goal that Forest want to do over the next few years, in my opinion. Stay up, build, and go from there. I think the sensible way of doing it as well.
Michaela,
I agree. I think what you said, Kev, the foundations. We lay the foundations. You've got I saw Joe Worrell today, and he said we've got the nucleus of a really good team. And I think Joe's right. I think we've got a nice band forming. And like we had a lot of lonely players who were superb for us. We were very lucky. And I think keep the band together, just bring in the key little bits of magic that will help us maintain. Like we've got to get a left back. We can't have this situation. So I think he gets that right. You've got a solid foundation. Let's not be crazy, but let's finish mid-table and build and be like Steve said, the next Villa. I'll take that all day long.
Matt, what's your thoughts?
Well, the first season you can overachieve and then you can suffer the following one. Obviously, fourth from bottom, you'd take it now, probably. Most important thing, new contract for Steve Cooper. That's the most important thing. Give him 5 years, 10 years, however long he wants.
Time up, time up.
Second most important thing, Brennan Johnson. And then the third most important thing, buy young players who are going to improve, who you're only going to make money on. Invest your money in youth and progress, not old has-beens, to sell tickets or anything like this. That's all we got to do. I personally think after the top 6, there's 10, and we're in that league of 10. So we realistically got between 7th and 16th or 17th. And that's the league we're going to be playing in. And hopefully we finish halfway down it. So we're talking about 12th or something like that. I think we can do that. I think that's realistic.
I think echo what everyone said. I think if I'll take finish fourth and bottom, because I think there's some weak teams. Like we've got that team like Bournemouth went up.
Yeah, Bournemouth.
Fulham.
Easily.
I don't want to disrespect Brentford as well. Like I said, the players they've got good side, but if we finish above them, I think that's successful for us. But like I said, we've got the team I love to follow is Wolves, because like I said, they've got a good owner. They've brought some decent players in. Like I think Ruben Neves was there as well, and I want to follow their foundation, because I think if you look at it, when this comment Marinakis brought Forest in May 2017, he tried to follow the Wolves model, but it didn't. Yeah, the model, but it didn't work. And then if we can do what Wolves did, I'll be laughing.
Yeah, but let me just say this to you. Matt made a point there about buying young players, but you need it. What Wolves done, they bought experienced players. And I think just from me on the outside looking into Forest, I think Michaela's right. You have got a nucleus of a really good side there, but where's the experience in it?
Yeah.
Because
David Johnson said to us, didn't he? You need a good, solid, experienced midfielder.
Some older head,
a little bit
Cookie at the back's got experience.
Yeah,
but
like Cook. It's like he's been here for 10 years. Yeah. The Cooks, the Colbacks, those are the guys that.
Worrell's not young now.
Worrell is 25, going on 35.
But my point is, Worrell hasn't played in the Premier League week in, week out, and that's the difficult fit.
Yeah,
that's the difficult thing.
Do you, Kev?
Yeah, listen, Forest might be unbelievable next season, but and I would love that, because you know what, the city will be amazing.
Yeah,
but what we don't want is, I don't want this young band of players to falter solely because they don't have enough guidance.
Yes.
In and around them.
Just to keep, I know what you mean, because I think 2 or 3 really experienced pros that know what they're doing, like Cook. He's going to be like, I've been there, done it, got the T-shirt. Yep. He knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
I think this team has got character. I think they're going to get stronger. I think you don't need to inject them with anything. They've got it within the squad. I mean, obviously, there's going to be new players. Some of them are going to leave. That's going to happen. So we don't know what we're talking about at the moment. But Cooper has got it right, and I think they'll survive whatever they do. And then I think you'll be ahead of the game. If you haven't got in a load of old guys, you're going to have to find new old guys every year. I think we should back the players we've got, do it with youth, and have a 3-year, 4-year plan, and keep buying young players and we might have to sell them. You know, they'll do well. Hopefully,
Would you be happy to yo-yo, Matt?
No, I think we can stay up, but it doesn't.
Listen, in an ideal world, of course you stay up 100%.
Yeah, sure.
But you know, this for any club that goes up, you know,
it's tough.
There's an opportunity. It's tough. There's an opportunity for you to not be. You've done so well in the championship. After 7 games to the end, you're probably second in the league.
Well, first, near enough first, really.
No, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But the Premier League's a different kettle of fish. There's going to be times there's going to be times where week in, week out, you're not having it like you have it in the championship.
No.
But
I think this team can handle it, though. You know.
Yeah, which is fine. But my question, just to add a spin to it, is: would you be prepared to yo-yo 1 or 2 seasons in order to get it right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Well, you have to take what you have to take, don't you? You know, I think you want to do it long term rather than try and buy the league and screw yourself up and get expensive players. And I think you keep your head and you do it the right way and you invest wisely. And if you like a Norwich or something, they're doing quite well. They'll probably come up next year, won't they? They're just not quite making the lead. They haven't.
But that's my point. You see, Matt. Yeah. Because Norwich won the championship at a canter.
Comfortably, yeah.
Fulham won it at a canter.
But once you got up, that's the difficult bit. Now, if we went down, we'd get back up easy after getting all that money. It sucks. It shouldn't be like that.
I'm with you, Kev, though. I don't want to yo-yo. I want to avoid yo-yoing because it's a tricky league to get out of that championship.
But it's not when you have a load of money. When you have a load of parachute payments, it's easy to get out of. And especially if you're going up and you haven't spent your money stupid on crazy players, you can sell them and get even more money.
Yeah, but here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem when you do that. Players who played in the Premier League, all of a sudden, the Premier League clubs want to pick your carcass.
But that's why you have to buy players that you don't mind selling, but you're going to always make a profit on, because it's a business. I think that's the most important thing. We don't want to piss away the money that we're going to get.
No,
we want to increase it because our owner's got money, so he can spend money. And now we're allowed to spend it. Financial fair play comes out. We just got to spend it wisely.
Yeah.
And Cooper is the guy who's out of the whole of football is going to make these guys appreciate. Look at it. Our whole squad, you couldn't give them away. They were bad players. They were bad players. After 7 games, they were crap.
And there's the beauty.
Any of them. Now,
and there's the beauty.
That's it.
It's Steve Cooper's first time in the Premier League as well. So
and Dave Murphy. And Dave Murphy. This thing everyone's giving credit to Cooper. Dave Murphy as well is like we keep forgetting. Like he's the one that can get some good young players as well, and gives Cooper that idea. Oh, what should we bring this player in? As Matt mentioned, I think he said bringing young players in, and if we do, I don't know, get relegated back to Championship, sell them on to big money. And I don't being a yo-yo club. I go on to be a Norwich. Like look at Norwich, Fulham. They keep going up and down, up and down.
Don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that, but I don't think
we need to. I think we've got more than that. But I think we've just got to be smart. Just buy young players who are going to appreciate. Look at Brennan. Look, we could have signed it. We could have sold him for half the money we could have sold him for now, sort of thing. We've made 10 million in the last half a season. And we'll probably make another 10 million if we keep him till Christmas next year.
What about you, Steve?
Well, the first thing is I don't think we're going to we shouldn't accept being a yo-yo club. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want that to happen. I think the first thing you've got to do is keep your nucleus of players. I'm not too sure about Garner. I think Garner will come back, but he'll be the latter one out the loanees, because I think Garner's not going to go to Man U, and get in the first team straight away, if you understand where I'm coming from. That's no disrespect to Garner. I'm not whatsoever. And he'll want to play, and I think Forest are in the Premier League, and they'll just send him straight back. I do tend to agree. You've got to go down your spine. You've got Cook, centre back. You need a good, experienced centre midfielder who is going to in this league. You know, I could remember many years ago I played golf with Barry Bannon, who played for Aston Villa, and we got talking about the Premier League. And we actually, because he was on loan, he went to loan to Derby, and they're in the Championship. And he says the difference that he said was in the Championship, you would most probably play a top team, and then you'd play a team that you knew you were going to get points out of.
Mm-hmm.
In the Premier League, you would have Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, and then you might get, you know, a Leicester or something like that out of those 4 games. There were top games every week, and he said the league is tough, and that's what we're going into. Do I think we'll succeed? Yeah, I do. I think we'll. But we need experience.
But the key point, I don't know whether this is what Kev's getting at, but the key point is we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Cooper has got money in the bank now. Cooper's golden. You give it. He is not getting sacked next season. If we finish bottom and we get less points than Derby and get relegated, you keep him.
No.
I know it's not going to happen, but you do things the right way. You don't panic and desperately cling on to the Premier League and sack Cooper and start again just because you got the money in the bank. You keep doing the right stuff.
There has to be a buy-in from the fan base, I believe.
Yeah, you have to commit
and
to
whatever happens, whatever happens.
Cooper's bulletproof. Cooper is bulletproof for 12. Cooper is bulletproof. The fans love him. The club love him. Everyone loves him. I watched a program once and they were talking about Steve Cooper and they said, Steve Cooper is untouchable. All right. He could lose 2 games. He's still the second greatest manager since, the next greatest manager since Brian Clough. All right. He's bulletproof. And I think he'll be a success in the Premier League. I'm sorry. I think I said to you, Ben, didn't I? Everyone was going on about Spence and Jono if we don't get promoted. And I said, I think the bigger problem is if we don't get promoted, someone will take a punt at Cooper in the Premier League. Well, luckily, we've got him there. Agree with everyone, tie him down straight away. And I think that'll be done in 2 weeks.
But the thing is, Nottingham Forest is a big club. We've kind of forgotten. It's a big club, but no one could drive the bus. But Cooper can drive the bus. He knows all the buttons, and he's driven the bus straight away. He's pulled out of the car park and gone straight to the Premier League. That's what we need. And sure, there'll be a roadblock. He'll take a wrong turn, but he knows how to drive the bus.
I love it, Matt, when he's saying
that's
this.
the point, though. And everyone wants to be on the bus.
I actually think, though, that's key. I think if talking to some of the players, the love and respect for him, and I think, Kev, when we did your evening, you were alluding to that, like the Pat Rice and how they made you feel and how they made you want to play. Yeah. I think this guy is such an excellent coach and a man manager. And I think those players, it says so much about him as a man. Like Joe Worrell's interviewed, and he's talking more about the manager than he is about the team. And I think signing Cooper first and saying, right, we've got him for 5 years is so important. I think
he's going to set the club up. Yeah.
And I think a lot of the players that will lead on for them signing too, and them feeling confident with the club, and they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Not only that, other players are going to want to come and play for us. Whether we're, let's say we're 2/3 of the way down the league, we're going to be an attractive club to pay.
100%.
Listen,
Nottingham Forest being in the Premier League, let me just tell you, Nottingham Forest being in the Premier League is the biggest news around, man. Let me tell you. My phone has not stopped. On Sunday, after the final whistle, I was doing Sky. My phone has not stopped. Fans from all over, people from all over contacting. It's such great news. And like you said, Michaela, Matt, you said it, Steve, you said it, Mr. Dor, I know you say it. It's the best thing to happen to Nottinghamshire for 23 years.
It's long overdue.
It's unbelievable.
It all went wrong when you left. So basically,
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Yeah, I know that. I know it's all my fault.
But I'm not just saying that because you're here.
You should have left your
But
passport.
you
at
being
home.
sold changed the whole trajectory of our club, like the sliding doors of life. You know, we all know what happened after.
We've had a lot
Yeah.
of bad things happen.
Honestly, because there was a good thing and it just got destroyed. And really, it's taken us this long to get our act together.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Forest had done the wrong thing numerous times, and now it's so obvious what's the right thing. Don't do anything stupid. Just keep
Don't
doing
mess
what
it up.
you're doing.
Yeah.
You're doing everything so right. Everything in the club is right now. Everything.
Can I just say, you know what
Sorry, okay.
I got one left.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Go on.
On the comments, someone who you know, Kev's on here, the hybrid squad.
Hey,
Sophie, I'm coming for you next season. So I want you on my show.
I'm
coming for you
from LA. She's in LA, by the way. Sophie's in LA, and she would love to come on your show, Mr. Dore.
People, see, everyone should love to hybrid squad. Make sure that Kevin's on the channel as well. So everyone should go and subscribe.
I was just on before. I was on there before. But
Listen,
obviously,
Sophie,
got to make some time for you.
Sophie, when I come in the channel, get rid of Kev, and I'm coming to take over.
Yes, all right.
I'm coming. Shout out to Sophie.
This is for everybody here and in the chat. Position. What's your position?
Ooh.
For
people in the
Forest?
comments, get involved, people. Get involved. Go on, Matt. Go on, Matt.
I'd say 12th, but look, just rewinding slightly, it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of people going to love to come to Nottingham for the first time in a long time, and we're going to go to a lot of places. So let's just enjoy it. You know, this next season is going to be fun for the teams playing us and us playing them. But let's say 12th. I really think we can do it.
Okay, Michaela.
I'm going to say 15th. I'm going to be conservative. I believe in this team, but they just got to write.
We don't know yet, do we? No, it all depends who he's signing.
We've got to buy the right people.
It's the wrong time.
Keep the nucleus. Keep Brennan. Keep all those people, and then I think mid-table and you know, hovering around there, I'll be very, very, very happy.
Steve.
Well, I think first, let's win it. Okay, all right, but why not? You don't get up in the morning to come second, do you? All right. So no, I think we'll finish mid-table. Let's finish mid-table towards the lower half of it. But that's all I want to do. I just want us to be here this time next year. We've had a good first year. Build. You don't build a house from the top. You build it from the bottom. Each year, just build it slowly. And then.
So would you say 12th, 11th, 12th?
Yeah, I'll take that. 12th, 11th. Let's go for it. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Dore?
Okay.
You're saying you're coming for all these teams. I heard you. We're coming for. You're going to be finishing top 6 by the time you finish
in Europe.
I love it.
Champions League.
I'm going to stick. I'm going to stick what I said last season, and I'll say 14th. I'll stay 14th because I think we can. Like I said, the players that we've got now, we're going to improve. Let's be real. We're going to improve and bring young players. So I think we'll definitely finish 14th. Definitely.
Do you know, guys? I think some of the exciting games, obviously the big games are going to be exciting, but I can't wait to see Forest play the likes of Southampton and Dalton teams, because Southampton are going to be thinking we can beat you, and you're going to be thinking we can beat you. So they're going to be, they're going to be some cracking games.
What do you think, Kev? What position?
Yeah, wait. Where do you think, Kev? What do you think, Kev?
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you. Don't worry about that. I'm going to tell you. I would take 17th for Forest now.
Me too.
Just to make sure Forest stay in the Premier League again, to build. I don't want Forest to you've been out of it 23 years. I don't want to drop out after one. No. I want Forest to consolidate. Listen, if they start off well, we've seen teams start off well and fall away and all that. No. Believe in the team, make a few additions, and I think the key to Nottingham Forest doing well next season is everybody being together. But after the Wembley situation, I think the fans and the players and everybody will be together.
Yeah,
and
100%.
17th upwards, I would take for Forest now. That's hand on heart. I would take that for Nottingham Forest now. So you get the continuity of another season. And it's another 100 million plus in the coffers and another 100 million to come the next season. I think that proves, that builds the club. And as you said, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, you know, who knows, European football and you know, challenge. DoreOnTour, you know, goes Europa and, you know, whatever. Getting back to where the club, I believe, belong.
I agree.
I can't wait.
You'd take it, wouldn't you?
We should be in the top 10. But where do you actually think we're going to finish? 17th?
17th.
You think we'll finish 17th?
I think you finish 17th. Listen, I worry for Bournemouth.
Where are Arsenal going to finish? 18th?
I worry. I think Arsenal. It depends. Arsenal always depends on the signings that they make.
Yeah.
Always depends on the signings. But I worry for Bournemouth. I do.
Yeah. Well,
I think that club's a mess.
I worry I do worry for Fulham because you know why? They rely so much on Mitrovic.
Yeah, and if he doesn't,
and in the Premier League,
he's not very good in the Premier League, is he?
Well, he got back in
better defenders. They shut him down.
He did when Forest played him. Like he didn't do nothing. All he, like we had McKenna, had him dealt with him, and all he did was murder the linesman every single time. And now him going to the Premier League, he's get worse.
He's never really done it. He's a good player, but he's never really done it in the Premier League. You know, it might be different this season, and if it is, good luck to him.
100%.
But I just think when a team relies on that many goals from one player,
it's a problem.
Yeah, big problem. Big problem.
Right. We need that our show, but people, if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to get to 8K people. Please do hit the subscribe button, please. There's 251 people in as well. But before we go, I'll say this is the last show before we start the Premier League journey on my channel.
Is that the last show till next week?
No, because it's Kev, don't do this to me.
Hey, in the Premier League, there's no breaks. There's no breaks. You're Premier League now. You've got to keep going.
I keep going. Well, okay, people. I'm not retiring. I'll be back next week. As Kevin says, I'll be back next week because I don't want to talk about transfer gossip. That'll be on the next show. That'll be a different show, people. Because there's too many people that we've been linked with. I think there's about 200 players we've been linked with. Bale, a lot. But I'm not waiting here. It's too long. It's been a pleasure, people. Everyone, thank you very much for, like I said, it's been a pleasure. Kevin, Campbell, coming on the channel. Always love and
always love coming on. Always love speaking to fantastic people. Matt, Michaela, Steve, the legend, and you, Mr. Door. Obviously, Des and Malcolm and Foxy, Lisa, and everybody. You know, even Gemma was buzzing. I can't believe it.
I saw him at Wembley. Yeah,
you know,
he still scored the last goal there.
He got a nice hug from Steve Cooper when he was coming down the steps, which is nice to see. You know, saw some of the legends in the crowd, saw Frank Clark and Des Walker. You know, some of the great guys who have played for the club. Thoroughly deserved it. Like I say, what a football club. And you know what? It's great to have you back, man. Great to see the club back.
Honestly. I'm excited, man. But yeah, like I said, I'm excited. Like I said, I was in tears after the game. Like I said, I saw Michaela jump on. I've never seen Matt cry before, and he was in tears as well. And Matt, don't
come on, Matt, admit it. Tears of joy. Tears of joy.
It was the steps that did it.
No, but that emotion, like Joe said today, he's never felt emotion like that in his life, and like it was incredible. It was the most incredible. If you'd said to me at the beginning of the season, you can take that, or you can just go up automatically, I'd take that every day of the week. You know, as long as we win. But it was so brilliant, and like for the younger generation of fans, Kev knows we've got a slightly older fan base. This is going to be a whole new generation of fans. I think it's really good. It's put a flare up Forest bum. You know, like it's like this is the time. I think it's been brilliant. I'm so chuffed. So
it's long overdue, but it's just in time, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of emotions released.
I had to admit on Sunday when I had Erin and Jake next to me, 7 and 6 year olds, you know, I mean, as you well know, the story about Erin, we couldn't get a babysitter. Steve Cooper's first game, and she's just been blown away, home and away. She's loved it every
She's a
minute.
legend. She's absolutely
she's
legend.
Legend, Erin is.
She's a legend.
And the 20 minutes to go, in that last 20 minutes, she nudged me on the shoulder and she went, Daddy, can we stop this game now? You know what I mean?
Oh, bless
We also
her. I
laughed.
love
Oh, loving that. I'm loving that.
We didn't need that 6 extra minutes.
I looked at her, she was sitting next to me, and I looked at her and I just thought, Erin, your daddy wants to stop it now. You know, even
Yeah.
and when that full-time whistle went, I've got to admit, and I'm not ashamed to, we just hugged each other and I cried so much because it meant so much to me, because I'd seen European Cups. I'd seen us go down. I'd seen us come back with Kev. I'd seen us go down again. And I just, you know, I just wanted to
release
and just let it go. People don't understand. Football's in your blood. And when it's your club, things like that, you know, are just something special. And to have her there, and she's now going, I'm going Premier League. She's a Premier League, you know.
Love it.
She's just amazing. And that will stick with her for the rest of her life. It will.
The coverage of Nottingham Forest goes up tenfold, 100-fold now, doesn't it? Now you're in the Premier League.
It's crazy. Yeah, you just go on Twitter and it's like, it's just, you post a picture of like a flower and you say, you Reds, 900 likes.
Everybody's on it. Yeah.
So that's an amazing story, Steve. That's gonna give me a tear to be like, I've met Erin, and she sees a legend in my eyes, man. But I will be bringing my little girl this time.
Yeah.
So, she wants to come because I told you a joke. I picked her up from the house and she made me laugh. She said to me, Daddy, stop being a baby and stop crying. I was like, what? Where have you got that from? I went, my granddad. I went, oh, you cheeky son. But yeah, it's been like some people.
Mr. Dodd, do you know anybody who couldn't obviously go to Wembley, who were watching it in the bars or pub, or what the stories are like? Because South Bank must have been bouncing on the Sunday.
It was my friend. He couldn't get a ticket, and South Bank was absolutely mad, absolutely crazy, and it was just like even like not people like from Nottingham who's not Forest fans were so excited. Like when I left the ground, people was texting me and like I wasn't reading it. I was just like hugging everyone. I was like, who are you? Get here! I was like, it was emotional, and when that whistle went, I hugged Craig. I saw Malcolm. I ran to Malcolm, and I hugged Malcolm as well. And yes, it was mad. But it's been a mad journey.
And the parade the next day was amazing as well.
It was the parade at Market.
There was people from the whole of the Market Square, but all the way back to the road. Like you couldn't see. I was working. Matt said, "Come and meet me at 1 o'clock." Worst decision of my life. I had to get through a crowd of about 20,000 people to find him. It was great. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my life in anywhere for anything. It was ridiculous. It was so brilliant. And I think like friends that I know that aren't even football fans said the Market Square was a mess. It was brilliant. Like after the final whistle, everyone was out. Everyone was just so happy and elated.
Joyous.
I think,
It's brilliant.
But it's been like that all year. It's been building all year. You know, we just wanted to see some football in this city and some boxing and some other things. It's been a blessed year after the COVID stuff. It's just been incredible.
Brian Roy did an evening like yours, and he said that Forest had lost its identity, its football identity. He's like, I don't know what it is anymore. And that was about 2 years ago. And he was it was spot on. I think we'd lost. Like from the days when you played and things.
It's been a terrible mess, hasn't it? It's been Italians and this.
But I feel like Cooper's brought back a bit of our identity. I feel like you can be proud now to be a Forest fan, and you feel like, you know, they're going to die trying out there, and that team's very together, and he's brought that out of us, and I think it's been superb.
Well, one thing I do know, for everybody. If the boys try hard and give it their all, they'll be loved by the fan base. That's for sure.
That's
Well,
what
you
want,
can't do
isn't
any
it?
more than that. What can you do?
No.
You know, and that's all they did this year. And they ran out of steam at the end, and they just crept over the line. But they left nothing. And
Nothing.
if they'd failed, it wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have mattered one jot. So I thought, you know, that was what's been so great about this season. And the fact that we actually did it was just a bonus.
Have you renewed your season tickets?
Yes, yes.
Well
They
done.
did that.
They
They did
I
that.
did
Now it's a little bit probably more expensive.
A
Yeah.
little bit, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Guys, don't forget, we gave every team 7 games start to
Exactly.
get this achievement. Don't forget that. What Cooper's done is
Oh.
7 games. We
Ridiculous.
gave everyone the
And
greatest.
I will be
Oh, yeah.
doing another video. If anyone see my trailer for the Forest game, it's been, I think it's nearly 20k as well. So if people want to see it, go and watch it. Link is below. Before we go, I've noticed Matt's got some merch behind him. Matt, go and promote your channel because Matt's done
You can't do
sold
anything
loads,
Yeah.
sold loads and loads and loads of merch.
No bank holiday for me. I tell you, I've had 30 times more business every day since the weekend, and it's been like I'm dying. And I've been up before the thing I was doing. If we won and if we lost, big
For
things to stick in the
blueprints, yeah.
windows and all this stuff. And the flag made it. I did a flag, which luckily they needed for the pitch, and so it was on the team bus, and they took it out at the end. It was a bit big for the players, and then they got a bit crazy, so they didn't really synchronize it. But it got on the pitch, so that was nice. So I've got to retrieve that. But next season, I'm going to do the flags properly. They're all down. We had 10 of them down at, I think, South Bank. One of them actually seemed to escape. Samba seemed to escape down to the game somehow. I'm not really quite sure. I'm going to investigate that one. But other than that, there's meant to be 10 down there. And we're going to hopefully have them on the terraces next year. So, that's my next job.
Yeah, like I said, people, Matt's got some merch. The link is below, so make sure everyone goes to merch and get whatever you want. We're back in the Premier League, people.
Load up. Load up.
Next week. I'm still doing this first leg of the semi-finals. I just come to penalties.
My house looks like a bomb's hit it 3 times. So boxes everywhere and stuff.
Before doing, I'm gonna give a birthday shout out to is it Claire Sheehan? Happy birthday, Claire. I know. I hope you had a great birthday.
Happy birthday, Claire.
Well, so happy birthday, Claire. I'm going to look for any more comments before we do go. This is from Glenn. Anyone know when these tickets will go on sale? I'm looking for a new one. Glenn, you need to find Glenn. You better save your pennies, Glenn, because
Not
it's going
for
to
you,
be.
Glenn. They've all sold out.
Glenn will find it. Glenn, I think it's Monday the night, isn't it?
Monday, ain't they?
Glenn was in front of me at Wembley, and Des was next to me.
We got the worst seats now.
Des was shaking for the last 10 minutes, shaking. Him and I together was a bad combination. We were feeding off each other, but just the emotion, those guys, it was brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant, and we had Megaphone Man down a few rows, so we had the whole
crew,
whole lot, apart from Ben, who was in the posh seats.
I was not in the posh seats, man. I was in the posh. I was in the nice pitch.
Is he corporate now? Is he corporate now?
I wasn't corporate, man. I had Craig Price next. I had Craig Price next to me. He was annoying and everything else. But
actually,
it wasn't that good then.
Yeah.
No, but actually, right. I'll tell you right now, and everyone knows I'm loud at games, but I was so. Craig said to me, Ben, wake up, Ben, wake up. I'm like, I was so tense. I was just like nervous than anything else. And the last 5 minutes, I think Malcolm, shout out to Malcolm, he took a picture of me, and I had my hands on the chair, and I was stood there, and I couldn't speak. And Craig said to Ben, we're almost there. Stop it, Ben. He was annoying me, but in a good way, Craig.
But wasn't the support great? Wasn't that amazing to see?
It was absolutely.
Has there ever been a better support at Wembley for a playoff final? I don't think so.
No. Michael, I don't think he'd mind.
And more people watched it.
Michael Dawson said to him, "You'll go, and it can be a bit flat." Like when he went up with Hull, and he said, "It's good atmosphere."
Because you get hangers on.
He said it's not the best, so don't expect it to be like an away game, like where you. And
it could be
Michael
like
Dawson said to Joe, that was ridiculous. That's like next level. Like everything was shaking. And Joe said they couldn't hear properly when they went into the dressing room because it was so loud.
Yeah.
They felt that they heard every single person. And Mullav Kintari said all the metal was shaking. So he could really, they really felt it, which I'm proud. I think our fans didn't stop the whole time.
The best thing, the game was horrible, but seeing those players celebrate was priceless at the end.
Priceless, yeah.
Remember that.
It's not how you perform on the day. It's getting over the line that counts, isn't it?
They're not brilliant games, are they? Never been brilliant games that they are. But I mean, did anyone see that post on Twitter from that Huddersfield fan? That when Forest scored and they were all around.
The Lincoln fan, yeah, I know. A shout out to James. He's a Lincoln fan.
Forest fans there, don't they?
Yeah, no, it's not Lincoln fan. He's a Scunthorpe fan in the Huddersfield end, and yeah, there was Forest fans behind him. He was like, "What? Forest fans are everywhere." That's what the way he said it. But it was a great day. We're back in the Premier League, and that's all it matters, people.
Back, baby.
We're back, baby. Right, people. It's been a great show.
See you there, Kev.
Hey, listen, I can't wait.
But
I can't wait.
Arsenal.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Love it. Brilliant.
So all you Premier League content creators, content creators, you know who I am. I'm back in the Premier League. So if you want to message me, you know who I am. I am, like I said, Sophie. I'm coming for you, Sophie. Take Kev out, bring me in, and I'm here. So, but here's what it is, like people. It's been a pleasure. It's been a fantastic season for me. Thank you to everyone who's been on the channel. Thank you to everyone for watching this content as well. Back in the Premier League, baby. We're back in the bloody Premier League. I can't believe I'm saying it. It's emotional. But Kevin, like I said.
Pop that bubbles.
Too much money in this room. I'm just pretending.
Yeah.
But Kevin, like I said, Kevin, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Kevin, for taking your time for all the times that you've been on my channel, Kevin.
No problem. For me, it's a pleasure. It's a club that's close to me, close to my heart. And do you know what? 23 years has been far too long for Nottingham Forest. So,
and you can come back next year.
I'll be back. You're not going to get rid of me now. You know that.
There were so many things like that with Jono and you and everyone.
I think I have Kevin on video saying we were going to do it at your night. So
that's right.
I
fancied Forest.
If Kevin Campbell comes to sit ground, someone else can babysit him. I've had enough of him already. So if anyone wants to babysit Kevin Campbell, please message me down below. I will sort it. I've had enough. I'm joking, Kevin. But yeah, as well, Stephen. And Stephen, before we go, Stephen did say, when was it? November, October? What did you say, Steve, before we go? And I said it as well. Go on, Steve. Tell everyone.
I said October, and that if Forest go up, I will have a tattoo of my wife's name on my backside. Okay, and she's got 2 designs. Okay, she's toying with the idea, and she's making me go ahead with it. I think the following week.
Well, people. And I did say I am getting a tattoo. I am getting a tattoo with Forest on my leg.
Kevin.
Thoughts
it's got to be of Kevin and Romy.
I've got him here, so there's no more.
I'm behind.
Kevin on your backside.
Oh no! No way! No way, Michaela! Stop that right now.
Stop that, Michaela. But yeah, last but not least, like I said, Matt, Michaela, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
For taking
we love
time.
You, Ben.
For coming on my channel as well. It's been a pleasure. But yeah,
you loves you as well, Ben. You know, little Erin.
Erin's a legend. She's my number one fan. I love Erin. I love Erin a lot, man. She's always there. She always jumps on me. But yeah, she's a true red, and she's got so much memories to come now. The memories are coming back. We're back in the Premier League. This last show. Like I said, thank you everyone for taking the time for my show. We're back in the Premier League, people. Make sure you do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and last but not least, we're back in the Premier League. Thank you for watching, people. And up the Reds! Come on!